All right, fight fans, 2 more fighters making their way to the unified cage. Let's bring them out. First, in the blue corner, Justin Knoepfli.
Justin Knoepfli from Grand Prairie, Alberta, representing MMA Mahood. Canadian mixed martial arts pioneer, Bill the Butcher Mahood in his corner. Debuting Justin Knoepfli.
I think it's easy to take, use that confidence of having someone who's been in the UFC as a training partner, so to speak. You know, Bill Mahood always puts out consistently tough and well-trained fighters, so I think that is almost an intangible, right? It's like the training partners, the training itself. Yep. So I'm interested to see him tonight.
And he still has the love and the passion for it. And the reason why I say that, after the show, after this fight is done tonight, he's got to make the 5-hour drive back to BC. He's got to work for it. So the fact that seeing these coaches constantly giving to their athletes, you know, when they don't know how far these guys are going to go, you know what I mean? You have no idea how far an athlete in the hurt game is going to be able to take this.
Well, you don't get into the coaching aspect to make money.
Yeah.
Talking with Coach Wing, name drop, out of the States, he was always saying he does it because he loves coaching fighters. He makes his money through other stuff. He coaches because he loves coaching and he's good at it. And he does it because he loves the fighters and fighting itself, and he thinks that that's his way of giving back. He had success, and when you have success, it's your responsibility to pass it on. And I think that that's a major thing, where we see with these guys is they have to, you know, when you're a coach or a fighter, it's time to be not selfish. You had your chance to be selfish when you're fighting, and now it's time for you to give others.
Look at those killer shorts. They're like jean shorts.
Amazing.
Now making his way to the unified cage in the red corner, Leo Bonin.
Longtime unified veteran, Leo the Lion Bonnet.
Maybe they're both fans of this song.
I would just come out to it.
I'm glad we waited for this.
We did. We should just enjoy this, right?
Yeah, you got to just soak in that moment. But I think it really goes with the stick, so to speak.
Yeah. And I like it. I like the gimmick.
Well, we were talking too that the important thing is how do you set yourself apart. This is how you set yourself apart, is by using the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that is filled with opera now. And, you know, and this is how he sets himself apart, how he gets quote unquote war ready, and he comes to fight every time. That's right.
What is something people are not ready to hear?
He's got Curtis DeMars in his corner for this fight, seems like. This song went different ways than I expected. But, you know, he's been training a lot. He's been training in the States. He's been travel training, training with new training partners. He's taking his pro career seriously to keep improving as a martial artist. So it'll be interesting to see how tonight goes.
He has an opportunity to set himself apart, to emerge as a top prospect, constantly improving. What performance will we see tonight from the Lion? He looks like he's in tremendous shape. You look at the matchup board from these two 145-pound fighters. Justin Knoepfli making his debut. Bonnet been in there a couple of times already. He knows what to expect.
But what that doesn't say is the tremendous amateur career that he had within Unified, and then moving on and having his pro debut here, I believe. And so it's just he keeps building. It's a lot of cage time in
and just comfort, right?
Yeah.
Just the whole. It's like, no, this is my home.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things are very, very familiar.
Yeah, 100%. So, and also, like, I feel like besides the height difference of 2 inches, there seems to be a weight difference in how they rehydrated after weigh-in.
All right, it is time for this 145-pound affair.
Fight fans, our next fight scheduled 3 rounds in a unified featherweight division. This fight sponsored by Travel Gurus. Introducing first, the man fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 foot 8 inches tall, his official weight 145.5 pounds. Fighting out of MMA Mahood in Grand Prairie, Alberta. And tonight, making his pro MMA debut, please welcome Justin Knoepfli. Across the cage, his opponent, this man, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, his official weight 146 pounds even. His professional record, 1 win, 1 loss, no draws. Fighting out of Black Dragon, Arashido, Sylvan Lake, Olivanka, and Frontline in Red Deer, Alberta. Please welcome Leo, the Lion Bonin. When the cage door closes, your referee in charge is Andy Social.
Andy Social, the third man inside of the cage for this featherweight encounter. Leo Bonnet ready to go.
Very intense. The only thing is, like, sometimes you emotionally, like, adrenaline dump when you get too kind of hyped up. So everyone's different. Maybe he needs that to really get going. I think he's going to take the center early and try and get after it. But jean shorts will have none of it.
I'm just glad they're not Daisy Dukes.
You know what? Live your life, man. Knoepfli doing a good job getting in there, try to throw a combination, but good movement by Leo Bonin.
Bonin hunting. Knoepfli up against the cage. Bonin landing that low kick, intercepted by Knoepfli.
That single, Leo Bonin doing a good job of, shelving that leg, getting his whizzer. Knoepfli staying on it, but it's really tough against the cage of where his positioning is to really be able to get a finish. And from here, probably your only, and the size difference we're seeing here in the turn by Leo Bonin.
Bonin attacking with the knee to the midsection, gets turned by Knoepfli.
So here we see the underhook from Knoepfli right in the middle, which doesn't really give him any leverage either low or high. So it leads to him just kind of using a lot of this energy. And if you see where his feet are, he's just pressing forward and just leads to him using a lot of energy. And Leo Bonin here just muscling Knoepfli around.
And is that the tactic? Try to be the bully, be physical here?
Well, when you have that experience and the size advantage, let him, as long as you're safe, I'd say let him burn out a little bit. It's tough. Nice little knee to the ribs there. Because then it leads to stuff like this, the reaching for the single leg that isn't there. And it allows you to just slowly chip away at your opponent with those ear shots.
Excellent work by Bonin. Another knee up the midsection by Bonnet. Right in front of our broadcast booth.
See right here, Knoepfli, for the most part, he has both his butt cheeks on the fence, which leaves him splaying out his energy, his power, so to speak, against the cage and open for a lot of stuff. But Leo Bonin here just wants to kind of chip him up and slowly just beat him up. And he's thanks, grab there.
Knoepfli still looking for that body lock, trying to trip Bonin.
With his elbow, his right elbow being so high, it makes it hard to really put all that force onto the hip. So, and allows him to square up and basically scrape off his hands and keeping that grip from happening.
And I mean, the reality is Bonin's the one scoring, right?
Yeah, he's working the whole time, and he's not, there's no wasted energy. Nice little body kick there.
A little separation, Knoepfli backing away.
Backing up. And what I mean by that is he's just backing straight up, which,
not ideal.
You run out of real estate real quick. So using good footwork, cutting angles, that kind of thing is going to be important in this, especially if you're a little bit tired. Oh. kick there from Bonnet.
Bad intentions, a low kick by Knoepfli.
That calf kick there had some juice on it. Little check there.
Kick and then trying to get in close with a takedown. Knoepfli. Bonnet recognizing.
Muscling him to the cage and then look for a little Harai Goshi there for a second.
A little frame.
Yeah, nice little frames there for Knoepfli. Foot stomps. Mitch approved.
Bonnet continues to try to smash the toes.
But the big thing is he's like minus that headlock position he had. He's kind of working the whole time and just slowly like just taking those energy points off by just staying on him the whole time.
And you would expect that eventually all of this is going to add up, especially considering that Knoepfli has never been in there in a professional sense.
Yeah, so, you know, talking about the energy dump, the adrenaline dump that happens, you know, like he's working hard this whole time trying to get that takedown. If I was his coach for the second round, like just knock it off for right now. If you're not in a good spot, maybe you're too hyped, too charged, or too focused on just the takedown. Let it happen organically, and that's easy to say. When you're in there, you just like, you become laser focused, but nice little double attempt there.
But Bonnet, he's on top of it, right?
Yep.
Even with that single, Bonnet not that concerned, starts targeting the head.
Well, a lot of that came down to the grip. So if you take a look at the grip was behind the knee, which causes the hip to bend, which means there's no pressure to cause him to get taken down. Even right here, the hip's bending. He uses the cage for support, allows him to continue these little short shots, which although maybe not painful, those are.
Big elbows at the end of the round. Bonnet on fire here, trying to finish things as the round comes to an end. Outstanding stuff as Knoepfli struts back to his corner. Bonnet eyeing down his adversary.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing we see in this fight. Just these little short shots just accumulating throughout the whole time while Knoepfli is attempting these takedowns and expending all this energy. You saw it when they broke apart. The body language was so different. Leo Bonin staring down his opponent, ready for more. And you look at the other side, Knoepfli was, the whole time was more so checking to see if he was cut on the side of his head. Probably has a couple lumps there because those are not nice shots he was eating. But it's just like, your body language says a lot of how you're feeling. So I hope they change tactics for the second round.
Will we see more aggression for Bonnet as we are heading into round two? They are back at it. Check kick by Knoepfli as Bonnet continues to advance. Lead round kick, just missed the mark.
And he's like, Knoepfli's now searching for that nice little push kick there. He's searching for that takedown. I'd like to see him kind of like use his kicks a little bit more, set up his takedowns if that's what he wants. Now the thing is, he's nice little calf kick. And Leo, I think, senses that his opponent has expended a lot of energy last round, is going to turn it up this round.
Left hook by Bonnet, looking for the takedown, gets it.
You're chasing up the body.
And this is the experience, right? That Bonnet is like, okay, I recognize that you're tired. I'm going to make this a rough ride for you and an easier ride for me.
Takes his back. He has that looking for the rear naked choke with his right hand. He's over the chin right now, but it might not matter. Slowly chipping away.
Inflicting damage on the body.
Knoepfli doing a good job of hand fighting up to this point. Really attacking that 2-on-1 at some points. And, you know, this causing Leo to like, fine, you won't give me the choke, I'm going to open you up with some punches. Just like more of the same that he's been doing the whole time.
I really like the mentality. Yeah, it looks like he wants to finish this fight.
Yeah, using that half Nelson to push him over. It doesn't work. Pull him back over. Look for the back taker. Just continue punching and just accumulating these strikes.
And it really feels like the end
is a matter of time.
Yeah, is in sight Bonin, you hear in the corner, the team of Bonin saying breathe.
Well, that's the thing, you gotta be careful. He's still relatively inexperienced in terms of like fights, in a sense, where it's like you can get really excited and look to go for that finish and then use all your energy up, just kind of like his opponent
Blow
did
your
last
wad,
time.
right?
100%, yeah. Looking to stretch him out, but Knoepfli doing a good job of really dragging himself low to really expose less of his neck. The only thing he has to be careful of is watching for Leo Bonin switch into, let's say, an armbar off of this. He's crawling up the cage there. And he looks like he has it.
Yeah, that looks tight. You see the grimace on the face of Knoepfli, but no.
And stretching his back, that's the big thing. He's like, even if he doesn't have the choke, he's gonna make it so uncomfortable the whole time.
Really good choices by Leo Bonin, but Knoepfli not giving up, trying to find his way out, trying to turn and get into the guard of Bonin, but Bonin recognizing what was coming,
like
trying to trap that arm.
The cage is doing no favors for Knoepfli. Every time he kind of starts turning in, he runs out of real estate, and Leo Bonin's able to push back into him using that cage. But from right here,
oh, and look at this. Knoepfli has his moment. What can he do?
This is what he's been waiting for the whole fight, is to this point. Can he do something with it?
Just over a minute and 30 remaining in the second stanza.
Leo Bonin really focused on breaking that posture, keeping him away, keeping him from being able to really get those strikes. Looking for a scissor sweep there.
Awesome stop by Bonin.
Knoepfli, nice little uppercut there on as they climb up. Maybe this will reinvigorate Knoepfli. He's had some success. Just keep hitting, right? That would be my, don't worry about the takedown. Just dirty box him back or get in the outside, continue to chip him up with those calf kicks. The big thing is he needs to use his head a little bit more, and I don't mean that tactics-wise. I mean he needs to make his opponent taller by using his head right there, of like standing him up, right? Like that. More of that. Because that's going to lead to more openings.
And you heard some chants of Leo as he advances. Checks that low kick. Both fighters checking kicks. A jab. That one getting the attention of Knoepfli.
I think what we're seeing the difference is like in the strikes and the standing is the intent. Leo Bonin is throwing them, trying to hurt his opponent with every time he lands. Knoepfli is like beautiful techniques he's throwing them, but there's no juice on him in comparison. Just in the sense that like there's not intent to crush your opponent. Nice little elbow there though. I'll shut up.
Another jab by Bonin. Oh, a really hard low kick to the calf.
Yeah.
Oh, and
nice little knee there.
bad intentions with that knee. Knoepfli surging in the final seconds of the round, but clearly not enough.
But can he use this to kind of ride that momentum, so to speak, and be able to keep that going, to be able to really like focus on how do I keep going? How do I need to finish this fight at this point.
That's the reality, is that going into this third round, I think it is safe to say that Leo Bonin is clearly up 2 rounds, and that the only way Knoepfli can get the victory is by finishing the fight.
Oh yeah, that's his only path to victory at this point. So what happens though is you go too much for broke and then you end up losing, but you know,
no risk, no reward.
Exactly. And then at the same time, do you want to go on your shield? Are you willing to take that chance to win? Or are you just looking to not get finished? You know, everyone's different.
That's a scary proposition.
You know, there's no good answers at this point. You're down 0-2 in terms of rounds.
Third and final round. Knoepfli in the blue shorts. Bonin in black and green.
Nice gloves.
Bonin says, come on, let's do this in the center of the cage. Trying to attack that low leg kick. Checked again by Knoepfli.
And then looking for that takedown attempt. And then a flying knee attempt. I like it. You know, going for something at least.
Bonin dismissive of the tactic.
Does that usually mean it landed?
And Bonnet backing into the center of the cage. Again, Knoepfli trying to punch to get inside, it seems. Stiff jab, yes. Bonnet again continuing to batter that lead leg. And you see the stance switch.
A check and a catch there. Yeesh. I was finding it weird when corners say he doesn't like that. I'm like, no one likes getting kicked in the leg. It sucks really bad. Nice. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and a big right hand by Knoepfli.
I think he should let go of this. Yes, stop that. Just keep following those punches. Those are where he's having success, you know? And just go again. He's doing good.
But he's got to go, right?
Yes, you have to go. And that's the hardest thing. Is like from a corner spin, you're like, go, go, go. And it's not like, it's up to the fighter to pull that trigger. Now he's pulling it. He's going.
But then he backs up.
Yeah, I think that he doesn't know necessarily how good he's doing.
Tying up, almost taking the back of Bonnet.
Bonnet uses as a tactic to get him to the cage to start tripping him up again.
Into that clinch work where he unloads some knees into the ribs.
Smart there, getting out of there and then just get back to hitting him.
It is time for Knoepfli to dig deep, try to inflict damage. And there it is.
There we go.
There we go. Looking low, trying to go high, but it's Bonnet with a round kick targeting the melon.
Yeah, making sure he stays honest, right? And that's smart by Bonnet.
Oh!
Good kick. Even though it was caught, we forget. The sound it
that
makes,
hurts.
It does hurt. Biggest example I think of that is Benson Henderson and Frankie Edgar. Benson was throwing those kicks as hard as possible. Frankie would catch it, but he's still doing damage. He's still hurting him, you know what I mean? And that's like, I think that's something that everyone just sees the catch and the takedown attempt. Like, single attempt.
Short elbows by Bonnet. Staying upright.
Keep doing that, keep doing it. 2 minutes, Leo, come on.
Good hand fighting here by Leo Bonin.
Breathe, Leo, breathe.
And I think I'd like to see Knoepfli get out of here. And he's just being slowly walked to his own corner.
Oh!
Big punch on the breakaway.
That could have been a fight ender.
Knoepfli really liking those calf kicks.
Two going back and forth. I'm trying to shake it out.
90 seconds left. If Knoepfli's going to switch stances like that, I'd like to see him like, big punches. Yeah, exactly. Fire off it when that space is taken away. So use it to your advantage.
Massive jab landed by Bonnet. Superman punch attempt.
And then
by
Knoepfli.
Bonnet almost leaving himself open, but Knoepfli just didn't have the mustard.
Well, how much that comes down potentially to like Bonnet also being tired. He's been chipping away at his opponent almost the whole fight. Nice little uppercut from Knoepfli. You know, he's been really going after it the whole fight. And
a right hand by Bonnet. Like both fighters having their opportunities, right?
100%. Yeah, both these guys are trying to win at this point, trying to set up their big shots. Big left hook.
Oh, Bonnet looked a little staggered there.
I don't think he was expecting that. You know, 20 seconds left. It's like go for broke. But as we saw last fight, anything can end within 0.5 of a second, right?
But these guys have used a lot of energy. They must be exhausted in there. The final seconds. Bonnet trying with that big overhand right. The horn to sound the end of the round and the contest. Bonnet beaming with confidence.
He definitely won the fight, I'd say, but you know, it was a good fight. Knoepfli did give his all. He did, you know, there were a couple opportunities where he could have just given up, thrown it in. But, you know, he stayed tough. You know, Leo Bonin coming in prepared, coming in more experienced. was ready to fight, looking to showcase tonight a new version of himself.
But I would love to also see the next time Knoepfli steps inside of the cage. He has this much more information. He was making his debut, and he just spent 15 minutes in there. Amazing.
Yeah. And you know, maybe someone's going to overlook that 0-1 record because it's not telling of what happened in this fight, so to speak. That he was, you know, came in tough, came in strong, could have given up and didn't. Came in with great jean short shorts. You know, it comes from a good team.
All right, the results are in. Don Andrews with our official decision.
Fight fans, we have a decision. All three judges, Judge Thomas Collins, Judge Glenn Dawson, and Judge Ziad Harb, score this fight the same 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Leo the Lion Bonin.
No surprises there. Leo Bonin with a dominant performance.
No, definitely a solid showcase by Leo Bonin.